Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. This video is about being an immigrant. Some of you know that I am from Spain. I've been thinking about the whole immigration thing a lot. I have most of my life, but I've always looked at it from my perspective. I didn't open up to the perspective of other immigrants. I'm finding that the feelings that I've had are similar to what other immigrants feel. I used to think, well, if my parents would have just stayed in Spain, or if they would have left me in Spain, I would have been a happier person. And that's not necessarily the case, because you choose to be happy or not to be happy. Now, I lived in Texas for 40 years. And I spoke Spanish till I was a teenager. I didn't speak the Spanish that a lot of the people around me spoke. Well, actually, the first 11 years in Texas, there weren't very many people around me that spoke Spanish. So, starting in 1986, we moved to San Antonio in 1986. Now, at that point, there were a lot of people around me that spoke Spanish, but I no longer spoke Spanish. And I had an attitude about it, well, I'm from Spain, we speak real Spanish. People here don't speak real Spanish. Well, the fact is, they do speak real Spanish, just a different dialect. Very different dialect. And I mean, there are other issues with the idioms are different there compared to where I come from. But like I said, I no longer spoke Spanish, so anyway, I always felt like an outsider. The entire 40 years that I lived in Texas, I felt like an outsider. I meet my wife online. We move here to New Cary, formerly known as New Hampshire. And I'm happy. I think the main reason I'm happy is because I'm with my wife. But something changed when we moved here, and I don't know exactly how to explain it. I'm happy. I chose not to be happy in Texas. I felt like an outsider. I didn't feel like I belonged. Here, I feel like I belong. But a lot of people say, well, you find yourself from within. And that's true, but it's also not true. Sometimes you find yourself from without. That is to say, from the outside. And I have found myself through my wife. I've also found myself by living here. I no longer have that outsider feeling, or at least it's definitely not strong. I wish I could explain these things better, but I can't. And I'm finally happy. For example, in San Antonio, I wound up going to hospital I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5 times a year, sometimes more, sometimes less. Usually not less, but I haven't been to the hospital once since we've been here, since we've been together. since we've been together. And life has definitely changed for me. Anyway, that's really all I guess I have to say.